Hey guys, my name's Lochlainn. I studied in 2009 and I went to Springwood High in Blue Mountains. Today I've just got a relatively easy physics question, but the point I'm trying to stress is units. So units are everything. Alrighty. So hopefully you guys have seen these satellite questions before. I'll read the question for you just in case it's a bit blurry. It's my dodgy handwriting. A geostationary satellite of mass 600 kilograms orbits at a distance of 35,800 kilometers. Calculate the force of gravity that keeps the satellite in orbit. Alright, so what I'm trying to stress today is that when we read a question like this in our exam and we have these two formula sheets at the back of our paper, and there's hundreds of them, and when you're stressed you sometimes just completely forget what you're doing. Like, that's what I always used to do. This is a little trick. If you can't decide between two formulas, this is a really important way to get to the answer without actually knowing the right formula. Alrighty, so for these questions, a really good idea is to write your data down straight underneath, so you can pretty much don't have to read the question again. I can just take everything from the data I've been given. These questions also always give G as well. Alright. And the other important thing is that in the questions in year 12 is that they always give you the units from everything that they give you. And here. So the really important key for this problem is to know the units of 1 Newton. So because we're trying to find the force of the gravity, and we all know that force is done in newtons, if we know what makes up this 1 Newton, these key units, we can get to the answer through pretty much a process of elimination before we even look at any of these numbers. Alright, so I've looked at the formula sheets and I've broken it down that from the information I've given, I know that it's one of these two formulas, but I can't remember which one it is. You can't just do the question for both of them and then throw them in and hopefully they pick the right one. We've got to actually narrow it down. So the trick I'm going to show you today is balancing our units. Alright. When we look at this first equation, I will show you what the units are left in and compare it to newtons. Alrighty, so G. They've given us the units over here as Newton meters squared on kilograms squared. So what we can do is just multiply all the units of these and see what we're left with. Alrighty. The mass 1 is in kilograms and mass 2 is also in kilograms, and our radius is in meters. Alright, now we can just cancel out our units and see what we've got left. When we look at this and compare it to 1 Newton up here, so we're trying to just get this by itself, we're actually left with Newton meters. So that isn't what we're looking for, so we can pretty much rule out that equation. If we do the same thing with the next equation, Newton meters squared divided by kilograms squared, and we have 2 kilograms up here, and meters squared. If we balance our units, we're left with newtons. So that's a really good trick to calculate which, or to find out which formula we need to use. So I'll just do this, I'll finish this question now for you with the correct formula with my little cheat sheet. Alrighty, we just sub that into our calculator and we're left with 170. And that's how you find the force of gravity. Make sure to use all our resources on the line and you can add anything you want, and good luck with your HSCs.